So the big question in today's presentation is why database security. So this is a report which is published by the IDC in 2011, and it clearly says that the 2/3 of sensitive and regulated information is now residing in database, and it's doubling every year. So you can understand the volume of data which we are maintaining is highly sensitive, and over a period of time, it's increasingly important for us to protect this data, as not only for the compliance standpoint, but also for the customers, the company's reputation, and the market strategy to enforce security regulations and the regulatory requirements. Otherwise, you also look at the business report produced by Verizon, the data breach investigation report, which clearly states that the 98% of the breaches happening from the database server itself. So this is the trend which we can see from 2011 since 2012. There's a continuous threat is coming towards the database side, and 98% of the data is compromised from the database server itself. Apart from that, if you look at historically, we have seen that the performance and high availability have been the two key drivers behind IT decision making, and over the past decade, our security has become a critical component in that list. In fact, if you look at over a period of time, the amount of sensitive information collected and transmitted continues to increase dramatically and will continue to do so. As you know, more and more organizations are striving hard to increase their efficiencies, and consumers continues to embrace internet-based commerce. There is another slide which talks about the latest report produced by the Verizon, and it's about database breach investigation report published in 2014. We have to take a pause here because the screen is not refreshed here yet. So this is another report published by the Verizon in 2014, and this report is with the contribution of 20 global organizations across the globe, and the data set that underpin the database breach information investigation report is comprised of over 63,000 incidents, and out of those 1,300 confirmed data breaches, which is the double of what we saw the last year. And the threat identified in the database breach investigation report are categorized into the 9 patterns. Basically, it covers from the errors, firmware, malware, insider misuse, lost or stolen assets, web application attacks, denial of service attacks, cyber spionage, and point-of-sale intrusions, and payment card schemers. The most prevalent these days are the web-based application attacks. With that means is somebody is trying to going out and using a credential in an illegal way to break into the application to steal something, whether it's your money, whether it's your credit card, whether it's your personal information. And it of course makes sense for the organizations. Those are moving more and more assets online and distributing their internet presence and infrastructure. So the bad guys are going to attack at those points. In the data breach investigation report, out of 9, essentially we see 2 different types of attacks. You see a lot of brute force activity against the logins. So in other words, they are trying to use different passwords tons of times until you get access. And that of course are done against the banks and the information providers that have online activity. Another attack, which is a denial of service attack, is a new pattern this year, which is surprising. in data breach investigation report just because many people believe that these reports is on data breaches and theft of information and not worried about the attacks that takes the system down and compromising the availability of the assets. Well, so it depends upon the perspective and lot of angles out there. One of the things that we expected to see in data breach investigation report is a widening gap between the bad guy being able to break into the company and a good guy recognizing it. What we didn't expect, how quickly this gap is widening and how much longer it is taking for a good guy to recognize that they are actually being compromised. If you are from financial industry, you will see a lot of denial of service attack called DOS attacks, web-based application attacks this year particularly.